स्वागत करते हैं जी आप सब ਦਾ ਅੱਜ ਦੇ ਇਸ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ। ਅੱਜ ਦੇ ਸੈਗਮੈਂਟ ਵਿੱਚ ਮੇਰੇ ਸਾਥ ਦੇਣ ਕੇ ਦੋ ਨੌਜਵਾਨ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਅੱਜ ਇੱਥੇ ਆਏ ਹੋਏ ਨੇ, ਸ਼ੈਨਨ ਪਰਮਲ ਅਤੇ ਐਸ਼ਲੀ ਪ੍ਰਸਾਦ। ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਰਹੇਗੀ ਕਿ ਅੱਜ ਯੰਗਸਟਰਸ ਦੇ ਕਿਹੜੇ ਚੈਲੰਜਸ ਨੇ, ਜਿੱਥੇ ਟੈਕਨੋਲੋਜੀਕਲ ਐਡਵਾਂਸਮੈਂਟ ਤਾਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਹੋ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ, ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਕੋਲ ਸਾਰੀ ਨੌਲੇਜ ਹੈ, ਪਰ ਦੂਸਰੇ ਪਾਸੇ ਜੌਬਸ ਦੀ ਅੱਗੇ ਕਿਹੜੇ ਫਿਊਚਰ ਹੈ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ, ਕੀ ਕੁਝ ਉਹ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਨੇ, ਜਾਂ ਘਰਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਿਹੋ ਜਿਹਾ ਮਾਹੌਲ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਬਾਹਰ ਸਕੂਲਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਾਂ ਯੂਨੀਵਰਸਿਟੀਜ਼ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਿਸ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਦਾ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪੀਅਰ ਪ੍ਰੈਸ਼ਰ ਫੇਸ ਕਰਨਾ ਪੈਂਦਾ ਹੈ। ਆਓ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਸੰਬੰਧ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੁਝ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਦੋਨਾਂ ਹੀ ਮਹਿਮਾਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ। ਵੈਲਕਮ ਟੂ ਦ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ। Thank you. So Ashley, let's start with you. You are 22 years old, and you are part of the Canadian Federation of Fiji organizations also. You have a lot of volunteer work which you do.
Yes.
So as a youngster, what do you feel? What is your thinking? Generally, when youngsters are, portrayed, they are generally said they want to live their own life. They're not concerned about what's happening in their families or the society. They want to live their own independent life. That's what is portrayed.
Yeah.
Is it a fact?
Yeah, so that's why I get a lot too. There's a lot of criticism with youth, like youth are not involved in the community. However, like what I actually personally believe is that I think that we need to provide an environment in which youth are supported, empowered, and motivated so they can excel in their respective skills and passions. Because I know, especially with our generation, we have a lot of hardships that many people overlook.
Okay.
Being first generation born in Canada, we have a lot of pressures from our parents, as well as pressures when it comes to schoolwork and academic life and future careers. And there's also other issues that aren't really brought up on the forefront as much, especially with the Indo-Canadian community, such as mental health and mental illness. That is still stigmatized today. And just a lot of things like technology and social media, it really facilitates in the deterioration of self-esteem and self-confidence.
Okay.
So what I think we should all do as a community and as parents is that we should actually bring up the youth, and we should motivate them, empower them, bring up their self-esteem and their self-confidence so they can pursue what they really want to do, and so they can be encouraged to help out in the community as
Wonderful.
well.
You raised very important points. तो एक पॉइंट को टच करते हैं। जैसे इन्होंने जो बात की, मेरा सवाल था कि जो ये कहा जाता है कि जो यंगस्टर्स हैं वो सिर्फ अपने बारे में ही सोचते हैं, उनका कोई इंटरेस्ट नहीं है घर में क्या हो रहा है या समाज में क्या हो रहा है। क्या ये सही है?
No. Because I even personally have faced that too, right?
जी.
So people think like kids are just lazy, they just want to do their own thing.
Right.
It's not the case. We do what we do in order to better ourselves, and as a result, like I think the older generations thinking that we don't have that in the back of our minds that we're doing this also to make our families happy as well. Like obviously we don't want to make a bad reputation to our family name. That's always been one of the most important things, I think.
Right.
Especially for like parents or grandparents. Like you can't, you always have to be the best.
Right.
Like, and you can't put any shame to your family name. That's the thing.
Right.
And so, like Ashley said, we need to empower these youth, let them take, because I think we know what we're doing in a sense,
Right.
but obviously we still need to be kept on track, but just don't think that we're not doing anything.
So how can this division be solved, because parents' expectation, as you said, is of the thought process from which countries we came. We carry on with that tradition, that our child should only go into those particular jobs which we think are good. But now today the market is vast open, you can go to any field and there's no distinction, and the dignity of labor is there, and everybody is considered equal. But probably in our minds it's still that fixture of those particular jobs.
Yeah.
How do you think, what is the solution for this by which there can be better interaction between parents and the youngsters?
I think parents should be more involved in their children's lives,
Okay.
but not in a way where it serves as an impediment, but rather as a support system.
Okay.
So maybe more community involvement with your child, or being more involved with their school.
Right.
Yeah, just I think being involved in like just knowing and asking, becoming their friend in a sense, but still maintaining that parent-child relationship, because you don't want to become that parent that becomes way too of a burden on the child, and it's like they're always wanting to know what the child is, where they are, what they're doing. So just like know about them, like get involved with their lives, but just also know how to keep your distance as well, because a space is always needed.
Okay, another thing is religion. That's a major binding factor. As parents, elders want the children to follow the same ceremonies, the rituals, and everything at the tradition which they have brought forward should be continued. But we find that amongst the youngsters, they are more if I may say in quote, spiritual rather than following the norms or the traditions.
Yes.
Is that also a factor which creates tensions between the youngsters and the families?
What do you think?
I feel like with my grandparents, it's like they feel sort of disappointed that we aren't doing it as much as they did it, and
Right.
we're not able because we don't have as much knowledge. We didn't grow up with
Right.
all the religious stuff in our lives. Even though they still do it, it's not that they don't involve us as much in it.
Right.
I think, like in my personal opinion, say I'm Hindu, right? So the thing is, there's a lot of rituals and ceremonies and stuff. And the thing is, as a post-secondary student, sometimes you just don't have the time,
Right.
because some pujas would be 4 hours long and sometimes hard. And I
Right.
think that's why. But the thing is that children don't want to let go of their root, their religion. That's why they become more spiritual.
Right.
Like, even though I can't be there physically, I can be there mentally and emotionally and spiritually.
Right.
Yeah.
Finally, you talked about the tensions through which you pass, the mental harassment, if I may use that word, or the mental tension what you have of your studies also, of your peers also, of your home also. So finally, what would be your message to parents, and what would be your message to age mates of your age?
Age mates of my age. I think us as our kids, we need to really get our acts together, because there is this image of us put out on the table. We need to be the ones to change that image for ourselves, because it's not going to go away.
Right.
We need to show that our parents and our elders that we are capable of that and more.
Also,
And for the parents?
for the parents, well, I think what really drives parents and aunties and uncles these days is, what will other people think?
Say.
Yeah.
What's the Hindi version of
Kya
that?
log kahenge?
Yeah. that.
What will other people think? I think sometimes we just need to let go,
Right.
focus on your relationship with your child,
Right.
create a good relationship, support them in what they want to do
Right.
while providing them good advice. And I think it could take off well from there.
Wonderful. It was a pleasure talking to both of you, Ashley and Shannon. Thanks for your perspective.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having
ਸੋ
us.
ਜੋ ਅੱਜ ਅਸੀਂ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕੀਤੀ ਉਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਦੋਨੋਂ ਹੀ ਸਾਡੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਨੌਜਵਾਨ ਨੇ, ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਜੀ ਸੋਚ ਨਹੀਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸੁਣੀ, ਇਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਮੁੱਖ ਤੌਰ ਤੇ ਇੱਕ ਗੱਲ ਸਾਹਮਣੇ ਆਉਂਦੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੇ ਚੈਲੰਜਸ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਲੰਘ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਿ ਪੇਰੈਂਟਸ ਆਪਣੇ ਸਮੇਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੰਘੇ। ਐਕਸਪੈਕਟੇਸ਼ਨਸ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦੀਆਂ ਹਾਈ ਹੈਗੀਆਂ ਨੇ। ਬੱਚੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਮਝਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਸਾਨੂੰ ਅਹਿਸਾਸ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਕੀ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੈ। ਇਹ ਨਾ ਪੇਰੈਂਟਸ ਸਮਝਣ ਕਿ ਜੇਕਰ ਅਸੀਂ ਉਹ ਟ੍ਰੈਡੀਸ਼ਨਸ ਫੋਲੋ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਤਾਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਧਾਰਮਿਕ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗੇ, ਜਾਂ ਸਾਡੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਹ ਫੀਲਿੰਗਸ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗੀਆਂ। ਲੇਕਿਨ ਇੱਕ ਸਟਰੋਂਗ ਰਿਲੇਸ਼ਨਸ਼ਿਪ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਬਣਨੀ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਹੈ ਮਾਪਿਆਂ ਤੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਵਿਚਕਾਰ, ਉਹੀ ਇੱਕ ਸਟਰੋਂਗ ਬੌਂਡ ਹੋਏਗਾ ਬਿਟਵੀਨ ਪੇਰੈਂਟਸ ਐਂਡ ਚਿਲਡਰਨ। ਪਰ ਨਾਲ ਲੋਕ ਕੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ, ਵਾਟ ਵਿਲ ਅਦਰਸ ਥਿੰਕ, ਉਸ ਨੂੰ ਪੇਰੈਂਟਸ ਛੱਡਣ ਤੇ ਰਾਦਰ ਉਹੀ ਟਾਈਮ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੈ ਫੋਕਸ ਕੀਤਾ ਜਾਏ ਬਿਹਤਰ ਰਿਲੇਸ਼ਨਸ ਬਣਾਉਣ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਮਾਪਿਆਂ ਤੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਵਿਚਕਾਰ।